Radio Raheem here with John David Jackson, the Crushers trainer. Sergey Kovalev, obviously you're in that corner. This is a huge fight for him, and I asked him about his strategy for Bernard. Hey, I have no strategy, I'm just going to fight. Well, I know that you know better than that. So how do you see this fight, strengths and weaknesses?
Strengths and weaknesses, you know, the strengths for Bernard are the years of experience, you know, fighting and having fought the best fighters that he could in his time. The weakness for Bernard, he's an old man, and you have to treat an old man like an old man. You have to make him work harder than he wants to work. Has Bernard, has he been in the gym training so hard to prepare for this kid that he takes a chance of leaving himself that night having nothing in the tank? Or does he leave reserves in there, but not enough to really keep the kid off of him the way he should? The strengths and for Sergey and weaknesses are the same thing. The inexperience that he doesn't have that Bernard has. You know, it's not so much the fight, the magnitude of the fight, because that's not a problem for him. You know, when he's fight over in other people's homelands and countries, he's in enemy territory, so that's bad enough. So that's not a problem. The strengths are his punching power, his punching ability, his boxing ability. He's a better boxer than most people give him credit for because they haven't seen him go 12 hard rounds. He cuts it short himself. You know, the thing is, on Sergey's side, can he use the youthfulness that he has and the punching power to turn into boxing ability to break Bernard down? On the other hand, can Bernard use his many years of boxing experience to break this kid down and offset his power and keep him in a kind of a, it's going to be boring, kind of a funky, you know, state and just jab, grab, hold, punch, and win the fight? Does he have enough power to get the respect of Kovalev? Now, Bernard can still punch, don't get me wrong. It's not one punch knockout power, but he has enough power to surprise you and open your eyes. But is he willing to stand still long enough to fire that shot and to see what's going to come back at him? That's the thing. Is he willing to, at this stage of his career, to do that?
Now, you're talking about the technical matchup, and that was a great assessment. But what we also know Bernard has is the ability to frustrate fighters. And Kovalev is such a straightforward thinker and even a straightforward boxer. As you say, we haven't seen it yet, but I would imagine that that's how he approaches the game. Are you at all concerned that Bernard might frustrate Kovalev in the ring and get him outside of the game plan you laid for him?
Well, you know, a good question. What I've tried to do in similar sparring sessions with guys, I have runners in the ring with them. Because, you know, if you can't hit the guy, you do get frustrated. No, what he does is he's smart. I said, you got to break these guys down, cut the ring off. So he has the ability to cut the ring off and make you fight him. You know, Bernard has a tendency to just walk you around the ring. It's smart. Okay, cut that path off. Make him fight you. See how bad he wants it. You know, don't just follow him, because Bernard all night long have you just going in one circle and then try to crack you. Cut that ring off. Let's see Bernard. Let's see if he's prepared to fight you now. You got to offset what Bernard's trying to do and make him fight you. If you can make him fight you, then you see what's left in that tank, really. If you let him do what he wants to for 12 rounds and give him just that space, he's going to pick you apart.
Do you feel like the knockout is what you're going to have to get to beat Bernard Hopkins? Can you see it envisioning a Kovalev outpointing Bernard Hopkins?
I can see it. You know, you're talking about a 12-round hard fight. With each passing round, how much is left in that tank? One of the times you've seen Bernard a really hard, grueling fight, that he had to ask his body to give him everything. You haven't. This fight, if it has to go that way, you'll see. Is he willing not to only avoid the punches, but fire back and then maybe get retaliated once again once he gets finished firing? It's going to be an interesting fight. You know, people say, but I think Bernard feels that once it goes past 6, it's his fight, because now he's going to take the kid to school. Okay, but in those first 6 rounds, forget the head. We're not looking at the head. Look at the arms, the chest, the body, you know, everything. Can you withstand that kind of punishment for the first 6? Now you got 6 more to go. Your body's already been beat up. Now you got 6 left. What are you gonna do now? At this stage of your life, your career, does your body have that enough to muster up and say, you know what, we got 6 hard rounds to go. We got to get him. Because if you think about that. Bernard walks around and does what he does best, and this kid, say, wins 5 of the first 6. Now you're the whole 5 rounds. Now you got to fight the last 6 to win this fight. Can your body sum up enough energy to do that? So there's a lot of things on both sides that are going to be answered this fight.
And turning to the conditioning, as you mentioned, obviously you're leaning on that 12 rounds of hard boxing going your way. Kovalev's doing Pilates. You're stepping a little bit outside the traditional ways of training. Why is that, and what do you think that brings his arsenal?
Well, because he likes it. That's his thing. You know, it's good for the strength and the stretching of the body. It keeps you real limber and flexible. I tell any fighter, if it's something that you like and it's good for you and you can do it, then do it. I have no problem with that. As long as it doesn't take away from boxing, and it doesn't interfere with what we do. So that's good for him. And then he has the strength and conditioning coach that works with him. And we stay away from the weights, you know, because I don't want the arms to not be able to fire those shots that night because all the weightlifting. We have a pretty good team. What we're doing with Sergey, and Sergey's a hard worker. So I don't. The things he does besides just working the gym, I don't see being a problem for him once fight night is upon us.
And lastly, John, you know, this is a kind of fight where if Hopkins wins, it's a miracle. You know, they're going to be talking TBE, and he's done something that, you know, no one else can do. And then if Kovalev wins, a lot of people are saying, well, he should have won. He's younger, he's bigger, he's stronger, and all the things that you say are the reasons. So how do you keep his mind right, keep him focused on the victory, and then also not let the pressures and the hot spotlight of this kind of fight get to him at such an early stage of his career?
You know, like I said, you have some great questions. Once again, I try to keep him level by. We just hard work, just hard work in the gym. You know, you can't claim the victory until that night. Should we win? Yes, he's a younger, stronger fighter. But like you said, see, Bernard's crafty, and he has ways of pulling out the victory when most people think he can't. You know, this fight is like a pick'em fight to a degree, because you have to give Bernard credit for what he's done, and you can't. You know, anybody that knocks that or doesn't acknowledge that, then they're just crazy. If Bernard wins this fight, and not in a boring manner, but if he really wins this fight hard through good boxing, listen, they should induct him into the Hall of Fame that night. They shouldn't wait for 5 years. Seriously, he should get it. And he should ride up to the sun and say, hey, you know, I did it, and forget the BC belt. You know, so for us, you know, I keep the kid grounded, man. You know, you haven't won nothing. You're champion. But, you know, you got to beat this kid. He's next in line. You got to get past him to get to that next level where we want to get to in life. So let's not get big headed and think, you know, it's our victory. Because the old man has a way of turning things around on you. So you just keep focusing, and we just say, you know, the task at hand. We got to beat Hopkins. How we do it, knock out our decision, we just got to beat him. You know, don't look past the fight and think we already got it. Hey, he has a way of upsetting the apple cart.
John David Jackson, always a pleasure and an education. Radio Raheem with the trainer of the Crusher, John David Jackson.